Yeah! All right, so today and the next couple lessons, we're going to do first position, second position, bending runs, how to put simple runs, right? Learn from, like, you know, the old school from Chuck Berry to Van Halen, but little tiny bits and pieces to put together to chain into big, cool, awesome sounding riffs that you can create on your own, right? Not that hard. We're going to slow down real slow and just bit by bit build riffs. So I'm going to give you, or try to give you, a bunch of different ideas that you can take and then just kind of spin them your own way and have some fun. Also, don't be afraid to click the link below. Alright, so again, some of my favorite riffs ever on guitar are these first position pentatonics. The first and second position. I'm going to pick E minor. A is awesome key to solo, and all these are great, you know, B minor, whatever. And then I'm going to show you how to kind of tweak them to make them more major sounding as well. But let's take the, you know, the humble beginnings, right? Oh, and one more thing. Check out players like Hendrix, Albert King, B.B. King, Freddie King, Jimmy Page, Eric Clapton, all, you know, Stevie Ray Vaughan, of course. All these just blues legends. They are amazing. Another guy, Pink Floyd's David Gilmour, fantastic pentatonic player. So check those guys out. Kind of avail yourself of, you know, all the great riffs that they have. And what we'll do is we'll break down some of the, you know, different types of styles. So in the beginning, Chuck Berry, right? That typical, you know, bending and hitting a couple strings at once, right? We're bending up one, hitting two to kind of accent what we're doing. One little trick when you're bending and doing those things like that, take the skin of that first finger on the B and E string and put it a little bit above the B string, so when you bend and you let go, it mutes out that G string for you, right? So if we didn't do that and we let go, you hear that? But if you put that finger up just a little bit, it mutes it out for you. All right, so then we can go from there and just bend up the 15th fret. So all I did is I separated the notes. I bent up a whole step, which is just 2 frets, and I went 14 on the G, 12 and 12, and then, right? So we got. Now another cool thing from there is to go. What I did there is I just flattened out my finger on the 15th fret, B, E, back to B, and then I went to the 12th fret, E. So we got, and then bend that same string again. So we got, now you can do downstrokes, right? Or you can go catch an upstroke, or you can use your finger. All sorts of different techniques. You know, sometimes riffs like that, I love to use my fingers when I'm going back and forth, right? Because I like the snap that it gets, right? But back to these, so try those out. Picking downstrokes, upstrokes, you know, picking with your finger, plucking, I should say. They all have different sounds too. Right? So those are minor ideas, right? We can take it from there. We can start from the bottom, 12th fret, pull off 15 to 12 on the B. So we're going starting on the E. Right? doing it that way. We can also, a lot of people will resolve to this note, so they got like that. One of the things I like to do, and also one of my favorite blues players of all time, well, actually my favorite, is Van Halen, right? And he does this riff where instead of resolving right there, it's, and you bend into the note. So it'd be like, would be normal, or you can go, and it just kind of creates this extra like fluidity to the sound, right? It's not just. Now if you notice, you know, bending with that first finger a whole step's pretty tough, so I sneak in my second finger to help it out. So one of the things you can do also is those exact same riffs, but we can make them major sounding, since our E chord is right there. Right, say we're jamming over a rock progression. One of the things we can do to add more of a major flair is use some of the notes right out of that E chord, right? So we can go 12 to 13 on the G. We're starting minor, going right into major. That's the third, or the note that really you will hear the difference between major and minor, if it's a normal third or a flatted third, right? We got major, minor. So we can start minor and go right into major with just a 1 fret hammer on. And instead of going to the typical box of 12 and 15 on the B string, I'm going to go 12 and 14. And then I'm going to finish like I was in a minor, or the riffs we've just done, and I'm going to go 12 E, 12 B, and then bend up. Right? So we got. And now it's kind of a, even though you're playing, you know, you can do that same kind of thing and keep it minor, but now it's more of a major. You can also bend on that 14th fret a half step up to this note, basically. So instead of going, we can bend. So it'd be like, and that's really cool because it's jumping between major and minor sounds, right? So the ear is constantly tickled, right? So we can do, instead of just going, right, now we have the accents of the major, and I'm finishing in that minor sound. So I can do the same thing, just a different tweak. Did the same, started the same way. Went backwards, E to B on the 12th fret. Now I bent up and then hit the note and did a reverse bend, which is the bend is first and then release, pull off to the 12th fret, and then I'm gonna. So we got. Now that riff, you're adding the blues note. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull off 15 to 12, and then I'm going to go 15 on the G string, and then, so I'm going to go 15, 14, 12 on the G, 14 on the D, G, D, and then that. So we can go. Right, right? So what we're doing is we're taking little tiny riffs that we've learned, different tweaks, and we're just putting them all together to make a cool bending run. So let's try some more. Okay, so second position's also a huge position for people to do bending runs, right? So, you know, we got position 1, and then position 2. Now, we had the E chord here, but we also have an E chord right here, right inside of position 2. Now, the cool thing about that is these two notes are also in E minor, so it would be like this. Now, if we wanted to tweak that just a little bit and now make it major, we could go. Right now we got this cool, or that kind of approach. So instead of just doing the go. Right, so I went and just hit that major flavor really quick. Right out of that E chord. Another note right out of the E chord. And then I hit another note right out of that E major chord and then slid back into more of a minor sounding riff. And then I can hammer right back in to that major sound. Right back into minor. So we got or now, I want to stress one other. I always keep saying stress. I want to point out. I'm not going to stress you out, right? So I'm going to point out that these notes are the exact same. And then here, which is position 1, position 2, also position 5. So we got 15 or 17, 15, 17, 15. Those notes are the same, right? As these notes right here. 14, 12, 14, 12. As these notes right here. 12, 10, 12, 10. They're just different octaves. So my point being, when we went, we can slide right into those same notes again. Slide right into those same notes again. But it sounds like we've done a bunch of different riffs when in reality the exact same run was played, right? So we got or so we go you're coming at it from two different ways: minor, major, minor, major, and then sliding up to that root note, which is, you know, it doesn't matter, you can be an E minor or E major. So we can mix all those sounds. Those are all riffs that we've done already, and we're just chaining them all together. Right? And we're just doing them slow. Now, obviously, you can speed them up eventually. Right? Doing those those same things when I was going, right? Same thing, just different spot. Now that was a riff I really like too. Instead of going here, I'm grabbing that note out of the E major chord. So instead of 12 and 15, it's 12 and 16. And then I go right back into the minor shape. So mess with those, you know, again, learn those riffs these little group of 4 notes, and learn where they repeat. Right? All over the place, and you can just chain all those riffs together, and all of a sudden it sounds like, wow, man, look at all those different riffs you did. And you're like, I just did one riff all over the place, right? But it sounds cooler because you're changing octaves. It sounds like you're moving all over the place, doing all these different riffs. But all you have to do is keep it really simple. Take one idea that you like, then find another idea you like, put those two together, and figure out where you can do those same things, same notes, just in different spots of the neck, and how you would chain those together. Different riff, so it sounds like you've made all these vast accomplishments and you've just done a couple little flares. All right, awesome job, you guys.